So it's a great joy that we have today him with us. And before I hand over to him, I just want to introduce you to an overview of the different disciplines which we offer in Maharishi AyurVeda. So this gives an overview of the different areas which we offer here, all the areas which are responsible for health. It's a multimodality approach. That means many different angles. We cover all the areas which influence health. So on the left side, we have mind, then body, behavior, society and environment, and on the right side, the different modalities. We can then later go a little bit in more detail, but maybe we just focus on that area, which is bottom here. You see the therapeutic use of all the five senses. This is a very unique aspect in Ayurveda. You can use all five senses to create balance. And so let's see, here we see an overview how to use the five senses, because everything which we get into the five senses has to be metabolized. And so that balance is created in the physiology. And here you see the different areas in the brain which are activated. So here, right side, the level of touch with massage and marma therapy, pulse and panchakarma. Then vision, color and light therapy, the model of Vedic physiology. And of course, then hearing, Vedic sound therapy, Vedic vibration therapy, and Gandharva Veda. So this will be the main focus today. Then another important taste, 6 tastes are used in Ayurveda to create balance in the physiology. And of course, smell with aromatherapy. So this gives just a broad overview of the different areas. And now we go a little bit deeper into the matter. And I will ask Dr. Kulkarni to start with his presentation. And then at the end also, we will hear from Dr. Momaya, Brahmachari Girish Momaya, about his experience with Gandharva Veda, because since many years he has brought here to Flotop prominent Gandharva Veda musicians and gave their concerts, and on YouTube later I give it in the chat. You can watch these concerts. I think over 2 million views he has already. So we will hear from him, and then of course questions and answers. And yeah, will maybe about 1 hour we estimate it will go, depending also on your questions. But now please, Dr. Kulkarni.
Namaste everyone, Jai Gurudev. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. I think all of you from like many parts of the world. So it's so nice to see all of you. First, I want to thank Walter Monk Sir Girish Momaya ji to invite me for this webinar. And of course, we will today discuss about the Gandharva Veda as a music therapy. So how we can use the Gandharva Veda music as a therapeutic tool in our practice, in our day-to-day routine. So it can be a dinacharya for each and everybody. It can be for a daily routine for each and everybody, you know, to use this kind of music as a therapeutic tool in our day-to-day life. So let's start with the presentation. Just give me a second. So it all starts from the Vedic aspect. So it all starts from the Vedas. So one of the best sources of ancient Indian history in the Vedic literature. So there are 4 main Vedas, as we all know: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. So these are the 4 main textures or literature which we have available, or which we have. And on the basis of those 4 Vedas, there are 4 Upavedas, like sub branches of those Vedas. And those Upavedas are AyurVeda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, and Sthapatya Veda. So these are the four sub branches of the main Vedas. So as we all know, the Ayurveda is a branch or a Upaveda of Rig Veda. In the same way, the Gandharva Veda, which means the science of the music, is a Upaveda of a main Veda, Samaveda. So Gandharva Veda is the Upaveda of Samaveda. So these are the four Upavedas which we have. So as we are discussing about the introduction to the Gandharva Veda and its connection with the universal rhythms and the consciousness, I think Maharishi ji has explained very well about the Gandharva Veda and its connection with the consciousness, its connection with the universal rhythm. In the same way, we are using this Gandharva Veda as a therapy. So Gandharva Veda is basically Indian classical music, which we have, and the base of that Indian classical music is actually Gandharva Veda. So Gandharva Veda is a profound branch of the Vedic sciences that emphasizes the use of music and sound vibrations as a tool for harmonizing human life with the universal order. So this is actually a therapeutic tool which we have in the form of Gandharva Veda, which we can use for each and everybody, for human beings, to settle down that kind of imbalance in our body. So to balance each and everything in our body, we can use Gandharva Veda as a therapeutic tool. So remember this, that we can use Gandharva Veda music therapy for both of the things, that is illness and wellness. So what is the main purpose of Ayurveda? So I have connected this Gandharva Veda with Ayurveda as I'm an Ayurvedic student and a practitioner and a consultant. So the aim of Ayurveda, which when we look towards, is the verse is Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshanam Aturasya Vikara Prashamanam. That means the aim of Ayurveda is for illness also and for wellness also. The same way, the aim of Gandharva Veda is for illness and for wellness, for cure and for care. Both of the things can be taken care through the Gandharva Veda music therapy. So it is considered not just an art form, but a science of consciousness. So there is a difference between music in a concert and music as a therapy. So whenever we are using the music, not just an art form, but a therapeutic tool, then there is a special arrangement of the musical things in a therapeutic tool. So a concert music is something different and a therapeutic music is something different, because the approach towards that music is something different. Whenever we are doing any kind of concert, as I'm a vocalist also, so I do many concerts also, Indian classical music concert. So the approach towards that concert is something different. And whenever I'm doing therapy as a music therapy, I'm using Gandharva Veda as a music therapy, the approach is something different. So this needs to be very clear, that how to segregate that kind of part. So what is the origin of the Gandharva Veda? So what is the etymology of the Gandharva? The word Gandharva refers to the celestial beings in Indian mythology known for their mastery of music and their role as a messenger between the divine and the mortal realms. So these are the Gandharvas, which we call them as Gandharvas, which are the masters in the music. And Veda means, we all know that, a knowledge or a wisdom. So Gandharva Veda translates to the knowledge of celestial music. And we are using this Gandharva Veda, we are using this knowledge of music as a therapy, like we are using other kinds of therapies. So if we go into the mythological background, so according to some of the ancient texts, Gandharvas are the divine musicians of the heavens who use music to maintain the cosmic balance, and that to maintain that cosmic balance and eternal vibration, the word has been used as Nada Brahma, the sound of the creation. So the word Nada Brahma has been derived from the Gandharva Veda only. And when we look towards the Vedic connection of this Gandharva Veda, so Gandharva Veda originates from the basic Veda or main Veda, that is Sama Veda, which focuses on the power of sound, music, and chanting the mantras and all kind of things for the spiritual practices. So when you read the Sama Veda, you will understand that there is focus given on more on the sound, the vibrations, the music, and the chanting of the mantras from Rig Veda for the spiritual practices. So the base of the Gandharva Veda is basically Sama Veda, and that's how it originates. And we have this kind of beautiful structure of Gandharva Veda. So today we will discuss about these three things and how we can use these three things in the form of therapy. So the first word is Nada Chikitsa, that means sound therapy. The second one is Sangeeta Chikitsa, that means the music therapy. And third is the Raga Chikitsa, that means the Raga therapy. Remember this, whenever we are using Gandharva Veda music therapy, we are using these three terminologies and these three parameters. So we are using for the overall health. So whenever we talk or whenever we call it as a health, so we are using it for physical health, psychological health, emotional health, and spiritual health. So all the four parameters are covered through the Gandharva Veda music therapy, and as a tool in Gandharva Veda music therapy, we use Nada Chikitsa, Sangeeta Chikitsa, and Raga Chikitsa. So I'll explain what is Nada, what is Sangeeta, and what is Raga, which are the base of Gandharva Veda music therapy. And that's how you will get to know that how Gandharva Veda music therapy actually works for each and everybody. So let's start with the first thing, Nada. So Nada in a common terms, we can use or we can say it as a sound. So it's a sound therapy. But when we go much deeper into the word only the Nada, it gives us so many aspects of the sound. So music is related to the sound, and sound is of two types. First type is useful for the music, while second type is not useful for the music. So sound and the noise. So there is a difference between sound and the noise. The sound which can be used for music is Nada, and sound which cannot be used for music is known as noise. So there is a difference between these two. So in other words, we can say that the sound with a constant vibration is called as Nada. So we use this kind of Nada as a tool for practicing music therapy, the Gandharva Veda music therapy. So if you will see the explanation of Nada given in the musicological text, the word Na means prana, that means breath, and Da means Agni, that means fire. So two of the important factors useful for each and every human being are covered by these two words, Na and Da. Pranagni sanyogatena Nado abhidhiyate. So this is the etymology, the verse for the etymology of this word Nada. Pranagni sanyogatena, that means the combination of prana, that means breath, and Agni, that means fire. So these two elements, when gets united, there is a formation of sound. That's what the Sangeeta Ratnakara, one of the texts of Indian musicology, says about the word Nada, which is very important, I think, from our perspective. When we look towards it from the research perspective also, when I'm using some kind of Nada, so Nada can be anything. A sound can be anything which you can use. So it can be a natural sound also, like the bird songs, like the water sounds of waterfall, rain, ocean waves, or just the wind. So these natural sounds also can be therapeutic and healing. The sound of birds, especially early morning kinds of songs and bird songs, is known for having a calming effect on the mind. The soothing nature of bird songs relieves the stress. We all know that if we are in the garden and listening to some kind of bird song, or the sound of the birds, we feel very relaxed. It's stress relieving. Even the same with the waterfall, same with the rain sound. So these are the natural sounds, natural Nada. So Nada is one of the tool which we can use as a therapy in different perspectives, in a different therapeutic aspect. of Gandharva Veda. So when it comes with the nada of instrumental sounds, we can use different instrumental sounds which are soothing and calming for your body and mind. So one of the example is Tibetan singing bowls. Very nice and very, good example for a natural sound as well as with these kinds of instrumental. So Tibetan singing bowls, often used in the meditation, are known for the rich and harmonic tones. So they have specific sound, specific vibration, which gives us that kind of relaxation, mental clarity, as well as it promotes the healing. So we all know that there are certain research has been done in this Tibetan singing bowls regarding energy blockages, regarding reducing the stress and promoting emotional balance by just listening to these kind of Tibetan singing bowls. The bells and the gongs. So we know that in every temple, in every church, we listen to these kinds of bells. These are real therapeutic vibrations of the sounds. We can use it for the healing purpose. That's why we are considering it in the form of Nada Chikitsa, that is the sound therapy. The third thing which we can consider in the instrumental sounds as the Nada Chikitsa is using some musical instruments from Gandharva Veda. So Gandharva Veda talks about the instruments like flute, like veena. So we all know that there is an instrument violin, there is an instrument flute, there is an instrument veena. So veena is the instrument which you see in the hands of goddess Saraswati, is the instrument which we call it as a veena, which is one of the instrument in the Gandharva Veda, and these are real healing instruments. So if you will listen to these kinds of music or instrumental music regularly, it will give you the soothing effect, it will give you the calming effect. So, how to combine the Gandharva Veda with this Nada Chikitsa is very important. And when you will listen and when you will learn what kind of a typical music is for me, for my Prakriti, for my constitution, for my symptoms, then and then you can easily use certain kinds of instrumental music or nada or sound for self healing, also for healing for others. So you can prescribe also and you can use it for yourself also. So the sound which we are listening in our nature is really therapeutic. Remember this. It's not just the sound, but it's a therapeutic sound. Just how to use that sound as a therapy is very important. The next terminology we are discussing is Sangeeta Chikitsa. So Sangeeta Chikitsa, when we call it as Sangeeta, so Sangeeta is the Sanskrit word. Again, there is a verse for this in Indian musicology as Geetam, Vadyam, Nrutyam, Trayam Sangeetam Uchyate. Geetam means vocal music, Vadyam means instrumental music, and Nrutyam means dance form of the music. The trio of these three or the combination of these three is termed as Sangeet or the music. So vocal music, instrumental music, and dance form of a music, the combination of these three is known as music. So in these three terminologies also, there is a predominance for the vocal music as per Gandharva Veda text. Because the dancing is guided by the instrumental music, which in own turns follows the vocal practice. So vocal melody, that means the Geetam, is predominant in three of these. So that's why I am more focused on Geetam. Definitely, we can use Vadyam and Nrutyam, that means instrumental music and dance form of a music, in different categories of the patients or different categories for healing some kind of patients. But definitely, the Geetam or the vocal form of a music, just to listen or just actively participating in that kind of a performance, gives so much of results for our body, mind, and spirit. So as we all know, these are the Gandharva Veda notes. and these notes are sare, gama, pa, dha, ni, sa. So I'll just chant those notes for all of you. So there is ascending and descending order for that. So are you able to listen this instrument? So this is Tanpura. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Okay, just try with me. So all of you can try singing this thing with me. So you can be like this, mute yourself and just try to sing it with me. Okay, just take a good breath. That's why the prana is important. And if you have a good agni, if you have a good fire element, then and then you can sing good. That's why it is prana and agni. Okay. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. See, just chanting these kinds of notes also gives us so much of calmness and peace. So this is the base of Gandharva Veda music. And on that basis only, we are developing it as a therapy. So whenever we will discuss the benefits of Gandharva Veda music therapy, I will describe how these notes only, singing of these notes only are therapeutic. How the combination of these notes, just look at the screen and just look at the, these notes, just the combination like sa, re ga ma pa. So these are like mathematical kind of tools. It's like if there are like 7 notes, so we are just doing it 1 2 3 2 3 4 3 4 5. So this is a mathematical thing in each and every Gandharva Veda music. Remember that these kinds of patterns are known as alankar or ornaments. So those ornaments are of these kinds of swara or notes. So it's a garland of those notes which we are singing. And recently, when I did a research on this alankar, it's very useful in brain's neuroplasticity. So it is related with the neurology. It's related with the neuroscience. How these patterns of the notes, how the singing pattern of the notes are useful for the neuroplasticity of your brain. That's how we can elaborate. That's how we can go much deeper into the just singing the notes also. So the neuroplasticity, which is very important, and when you look towards the patients with neurological disorders like dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and so on, so this is very important to practice these kinds of notes, not just for the cognition, but for their memory, for their motor, and for their sensory kind of development. So all the parameters of the neuroscience like cognition, sensory, motor activities, memory aspect is covered through Gandharva Veda music therapy. So now we will discuss about very interesting part of Gandharva Veda music therapy is Rag Chikitsa. So just we did the practice or the, a small singing of the notes. So those notes are the base of Gandharva Veda music, and on that basis only, the combination and permutations of those notes forms the structure of word rag. So when you look towards the text of Gandharva Veda, it has been told that yoyam dhvani visheshastu swaravarna vibhushitam ranjako jana chittanam sa raga kathito budhaihi. So this is a Sanskrit verse for the word rag. It means the raga is the sound with definite notes and emotions which entertains the people. Okay, so there is another kind of definition of word rag is ranjayate manah iti raga. That means the one which entertains the mind is rag. So there is a combination and permutation of these notes. I'll go to the previous slide. So there is a combination and permutations of these notes, and each and every raga, there are thousands of ragas, and each and every raga has its own emotion. Each and every raga has its own singing time. As we know, as we have, if you know about the timings of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So there is a definite timings for vitiation and balancing of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. In that same way, we have a specific kind of time for each and every raga, when to listen it and when to sing that kind of raga. So the raga word has been first described by the Matanga Rishi, and in his Brihadeshi kind of Samhita as a textbook, he has explained about this word raga, and that's how we will see how this raga therapy can be therapeutic. So these are the tools of Gandharva Veda music therapy which we are using. So what is raga? Again, there is a saregama padhani to your left side. So rag, we all know it's the sequence of selected notes that lend appropriate mood and emotion in a selective combination. So it can be joy or sorrow, it can be violence or peace, it can be romantic, it can be. So all the nine rasas, all the nine emotions explained in Indian scriptures. So it can be peace also, it can be, the sorrow also, it can be joy also. So any kind of emotion can be evoked by that raga. So there are different ragas for different emotions. So I can give you some of the examples afterwards. So how the raga can play an important role in changing the emotional imbalances. So can you understand how the raga therapy, how this Gandharva Veda music therapy can actually work on physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual aspect? Not only about that, I'll say that it is working on your neurological aspect also. If we consider it as a physical only, so physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual, all the aspects of the health are covered by this Gandharva Veda music therapy. So playing and performing and even listening to the appropriate raga can work as a medicine. Various ragas have since been recognized to have definite impact on certain elements. So this is very important, that playing with any kind of instrument, it can be flute, it can be veena, it can be sitar, it can be violin. So playing on those instruments or just singing that kind of raga, just listening to that raga also can also balance your, whatever the imbalance in your body and mind. And this is what in my practice I do. I ask the patients, so whenever I prescribe the medications, so one of the medication in that prescription is Gandharva Veda music therapy. So we can use Gandharva Veda music therapy as one of the medicine, for self also and for others also. So the raga has undergone many changes, but there are certain rules for each and every raga which we need to understand. If you want to sing that raga, there are certain rules for that. If you just want to listen to that raga and listen to that emotional kind of thing, then there are no certain rules. Just you need to be very calm, just you need to be in a very peaceful atmosphere, and just to listen that kind of raga and to absorb that kind of emotion is very important. So a raga is not merely a musical scale, but it is a characteristic arrangement of the notes. Its full potential and complexity can be realized only in the exposition. So through a musician only has considerable amount of freedom while rendering a raga, one has to stick to its basic principles. So there are basic principles of each and every raga given in the Gandharva Veda music. So you have to very strict about those basic principles, and on that basis only you can actually work on that raga, and to maintain that kind of emotion for that period of time whenever you are listening to it or singing to it, it is very important. So when we look towards the philosophy of the raga chikitsa, so its connection to the consciousness, so each raga is believed to be aligned with universal rhythms and consciousness, capable of resonating with the human mind and the body. So when we look towards the energy impact, so it works on prana, it works on energy center, that is the nadi, and it works on the physical and the emotional and the psychological aspect of the body and the mind. So when we look towards the balance of three doshas, the three humors from the Ayurveda, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, so actually the raga music works on Vata, Pitta and Kapha based on the emotion, based on the rasa which it evokes. It work on these kinds of humors, like it can work on only vata or vata pitta or only kapha or vata kapha, it in combination. Just you need to do more and more research. That's what I'm right now doing more and more research in this field, so that I can get that kind of thing, which raga is suitable for which dosha, and how we can use these kinds of raga for different kinds of disorders. So in this area, I have worked and I did some of the research in the Gandharva Veda music therapy. So first was insomnia. So this is a very critical problem right now in the whole world, and in each and every psychological problem, you will see insomnia as one of the symptom. So I have used Rag Darbari Kannada. I'll repeat, Rag Darbari Kannada as one of the therapeutic tool for the insomnia. So this raga is the singing or listening time of this raga is the night time, which is the correct time for the sleep. So I did the research in the sleep labs. So I asked the patients to, go to the sleep labs and listen to that kind of, and I have observe the patterns of the neurons and their brain activities while listening to that kind of Darbari Kannada, and you will be amazed that because of these kinds of Andolita swaras, this is a Sanskrit word, because there is a variation of notes in those kinds of ragas, rag Darbari Kannada, one get good sleep because of that. Just listening to that kind of thing for 20 minutes before you go to the bed will give you good results. The pregnancy care, I did it for 9 months. So I did it on 27 pregnant women's morning Gandharva Veda music therapy, afternoon and the evening, based on the raga, based on the instrumental as well as the vocal music. I use this pregnancy care. Of course, the mantra has been also used in the pregnancy for some period of time. So there are different mantras which you can use as a therapy, which has been given in Gandharva Veda music also. Depression, which is one of the leading problem right now. I did recently the research on this Rag Yaman, Yaman, Rag Yaman. I have used this rag as a therapeutic tool in the form of or in the treatment of depression. So I used it for mild and moderate depression, not the severe one which the patients are having suicidal tendencies and thoughts, but in mild and moderate kind of depression, I got a significant results in this field. Mental health in cancer for patient and the caregivers, as I work in the field of palliative and end of life care. I have so many patients with the cancer to whom the mental health is a biggest issue to deal with that kind of disorder in that phase. So music can be really a therapeutic tool for each and everybody in that condition. Moreover, patients don't want the pharmaceutical kind of interventions to them. So definitely the Gandharva Veda music therapy can be a therapeutic tool for them, to use it once a day or twice a day or thrice a day also, as we are using tablets. So a Gandharva Veda music therapy can be a tablet which a patient can use once a day, twice a day or thrice a day. So in neurodevelopmental diseases in children, like autism, like intellectual disability. So these are the problems in which, or the ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. In these disorder, I work, and I have used Gandharva Veda music therapy as a therapeutic tool along with other therapies like occupational therapies, like physiotherapy. So these things really works really very well in these kinds of neurodevelopmental disorders. So when you look towards the benefits of Gandharva Veda music for illness and for the wellness, it has been shown to have a positive impact on overall health of the Gandharva Veda music therapy. It seems to have a positive emotional effect for elevate depression by providing new aesthetics, physical and the relational experience for the patient, you will see. So this is a practical kind of thing. It's not like that I'm just giving prescription and people are using it or not. I have to be very careful what time I should give it, for how much duration I'm giving it. So this is a very practical and very clinical kind of thing which we can use as a therapy. So Gandharva Veda music therapy can enhance the communication and expressive skills, like what you did after me, like singing Sare Gama Padanisa. Consider there is a patient in front of me, bedridden patient, who is trying to talk, who is trying to have, so if there is a speech and language related problems, using the music as a therapeutic tool is the best example. you know Gandharva Veda music therapy gives you that kind of you know uh, broad aspect and the holistic aspect towards using some kind of music in a different kinds of categories of the patient. So you can use it in psychological patient, in neurological patient, in palliative care, in children, in pregnancy care, in each and every sector of your life, for illness as well as for wellness. So if somebody has nothing with the disorder and all kind of things, but still he wants to use Gandharva Veda as music therapy in his daily routine, that is the best thing which one can do. So initial findings suggest that the positive role of Gandharva Veda music therapy in high functioning adolescents with the neurodevelopmental delay. Gandharva Veda music therapy for parents who have a children with disability improves parental mental health and promotes positive parenting. This is very good kind of example which one can give. So I use Gandharva Veda music therapy not just for the patients with the neurodevelopmental delays, but I use it for the parents also, because they undergoes through so much of problems, so much of psychological issues, emotional issues, because of their own children. So this is a good kind of a therapy. It's not a pharmaceutical kind of therapy which we are trying to intervene in themselves. So it's non-pharmaceutical thing which patient are also right now happy to do that kind of thing. So this is how we can use. So Gandharva Veda music therapy has impact on social behavior of premature and full-term infants. So, like Gandharva Veda music training can counteract age-related cognition decline. That's what I have described related to the neurological problems related with the cognition, memory, sensory, and all other motor issues also. So I have used this kind of musical therapy for the patients with the motor activities. So when the patient having certain kinds of disabilities with hand-eye coordination, so I have given certain kinds of drums, hand drums to them to play while singing some kind of musical notes. So if they are singing like sa re ga ma, and they can play on the hand drums. So this is at the same time they are singing, at the same time they are playing. So this is what the music as a therapy works in a different formats for each and everybody. So raga based music gives a cognitive remediation, improves the executive function in patient with traumatic brain injuries. So I have some research papers regarding this kind of thing when I have used Gandharva Veda raga music for different patients with traumatic brain injuries and how they are reacting to that kind of thing. So there is a principle in Ayurveda saying that replacement of emotions by the contrary emotions theory. So in Sanskrit it is known as Pratidvandva Chikitsa Siddhanta. So this is again the base of Gandharva Veda music. So it's like a replacement of emotions by the contrary emotions theory. So we can actually replace the emotions with the contrary emotions with the help of raga music. So Gandharva Veda music can cause a sense of subjective well-being and have a positive impact on cognition, cognitive function, mood, and quality life of older adults also. So these are some of the benefits of the Gandharva music therapy. Okay, let's sing together something. So which we tried. So I'll go to that slide. Yeah. Okay. I'll just play something. Okay, let's start. So once again we will sing this Sare Gama Padhanisa notes. 1, 2, 3 and go. Sare Gama Padhanisa Sa Ni Dha Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. Okay, so now what I will do, I'll give you a glimpse or a taste of one of the raga for a few minutes. You can just close your eyes and you can just feel that kind of emotion of that raga so that you can get that kind of taste of what is the raga means. Okay, okay, just close your eyes and listen to this music. You can open your eyes now. Yeah. Yeah, so this was Rag Yaman. So, it's so beautiful when you listen to this kind of music at the right time. So, like this is the evening time raga. Right now, I'm in the evening time of India. That's why I tried to sing this raga. So this was Rag Yaman. So that's how this kind of music actually works for each and everybody. So though you are not a musician, you can definitely use this music therapy. Though you are not a clinician, you can use it for yourself. It's not always to treat others, but definitely for your own body, for your own mind. This can be a therapeutic thing which you can use it as a daily regime, as we do the brushing, as we do the food in a regular time. You can use the Gandharva Veda music therapy as a daily regime. So about the upcoming course of Gandharva Veda music therapy, it's from 31st August to the 7th September 2025 at the Meru. So this will be a full course regarding Gandharva Veda music therapy. I think others can share you all the details with this course regarding Gandharva Veda music therapy. Namaste and Jai Gurudev, and thank you so much for giving me a time to talk with all of you. Thank you so much. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you very much, Vaidya. This was really great, and one could feel from your enthusiasm that you have a lot of prana, breath, and also a good agni. And I want also to say we had also several times the opportunity to work with Dr. Kulkarni, and it's always amazing his optimism and his radiance, and also his compassion for the patients and children which he works. So this is really something very useful, and then you have shown us the whole range of Gandharva Veda music, and I want then later also speak a little bit about the other activities which have been done in the past with this, when Maharishi initiated this tour on Maharishi Gandharva Veda music. There are many Gandharva Veda musicians went around the world and did concerts. There it was because Maharishi wanted to create greater coherence and harmony in the atmosphere, because it's not only for those who are listening to the concert, but it has a broader perspective. So this is also something very special, and this will also continue. And here, in addition, also this more therapeutic aspect. And I just wanted to see if Dr. Girish Momaya is here, if he can also give his impression, because Dr. Momaya was very instrumental to set up this department with the head as Dr. Kulkarni, and also his large experience in the past with Gandharva Veda musicians. Girishji, are you here?
Yes, Jai Gurudev. It's very beautiful. It was a very revealing experience listening to Vaidya Kulkarni ji. It's so beautiful how Maharishi puts that, Gandharva Veda emerging out of Veda. Veda, Maharishi says, is the wholeness of life, wholeness of everything, from where all emergence, all evolutions, all sustenance, and dissolution of expressions happen. And that is Veda, Veda, home of all the laws of nature. And when we say Gandharva Veda, is the cognition of rishis, how the symmetry, various symmetries of nature come from there. Natural law expressing in harmony, in bliss, in perfect rhythm and perfect evolutionary power. And that is the beauty of Gandharva Veda. It's so beautiful because the expression, when we say Ved as on the level of absolute being and on the level of transcendental para. And then what is the first expression on the physical level? The finest physical expression that comes out is Akasha. And what is connected with that is the sound value. And that is the finest first expression that comes out from Ved is sound. And when we understand how that sound can be perfect in harmony, in alliance, in alignment with natural law, then our expression, then our communication, then our behavior is nourishing, is evolutionary, is just in tune with natural law. It's as we learn TM, learning TM is to transcend, to go in and come to that transcendence. And learning Gandharva Veda is how we come out from that wholeness in perfect harmony, perfect melody, perfect beauty. And in a way, our behavior is in tune with nature, in tune with natural law. It's just nourishing, it's just health promoting behavior, health promoting expressions. It's a great thing to learn. And I'm sure those who can would attend this course that will give much more in depth to this great science and much more practical information, how we can use it in our life, how it can be utilized for good of us and good of everyone. And uh, especially listening to Vaidya Kulkarni ji is a very beautiful. He himself is embodiment of what he is teaching. It's a health promoting sounds of Gandharva, the therapeutic aspect of Gandharva Veda. Till now, we have been dealing with Gandharva Veda as a music, as a harmony of nature and bliss that is there in nature, expression of unified field into outward. And we did so many concerts and tours of musicians during Marshi's time and even after. Like we started in 2010-11 having concerts at Meru, and many great musicians from India, great Gandharva Veda experts from India gave the concerts, and our platform became very, very famous, very prestigious. We have by now at Meru Concert YouTube channel. It's called Meru Concerts. We have like 32 million views on that channel,
I've
and
put
there
it in the chat, the link so that you can watch it.
Meru Concerts, and so it's a prestigious platform, and top musicians are there. You can see, and but this course is particularly very interesting because it is mm, not only like healing and application of music, that is great. You know, any application that can heal us, that can give us good health, that can give us long life, healthy life is great. But also how that life will be, like how our day-to-day expressions, our relations, our work, our profession can be nourished in that harmony and bliss. That so that every expression of us is in tune with natural law. Every expression of us is in bliss. Every expression of us is in harmony and health promoting. So that's a great unfolding of this great science that Maharishi always wanted. And this we are getting this first opportunity to learn practically for us. And I would highly recommend everyone, those who can, join this course, and we will of course continue with these courses. And if you can't have this time, then next time do take part in these courses. Thank you very much. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you very much, Girish. It's very important what you brought out, the connection to the Veda and to consciousness and how we can enliven it, and how we have learned from Maharishi to cover the whole range of natural law from all these different angles. And I will show then later a few websites where you can look at, put it also in the chat. But maybe we can also use now the time if you have any questions. Either you put it in the chat or you can also speak with just to on the bottom to unmute. And of course, this will be recorded. Maybe in a few days it will be done online. And we will write to everyone who has registered, not only who have been watching, but also all the others. And there we put all the other information, the website, and because there will be also before the August, before the 31st of August and September, the full course here, we will have also shorter workshops in England, if there is a lot of interest in England. Definitely we will have it in Switzerland, in Seelisberg and Rhine. And then also in Holland, in 3rd of August in Lelystad, and also a little bit later then in Germany around Lübeck. And then the larger course in residence will be here at Mero. So Maria Ott-Gusmao has raised your hand. Please speak.
Yes, thank you. Could him please sing a raga for morning? We're here in Brazil in the morning, so we love.
Maria, I'm coming to the Brazil in next 15 days only. I think you can meet me there.
Oh, but this is a good thing, yeah. To meet
I'm coming in your country in next 15 days so that you can meet me and we can have the morning concert over there.
It's going to be more bright with you.
Yeah, Juliana, yes, I'm coming to Rio de Janeiro also in Sao Paulo. I will be there from 9th of May to 25th of May. So I'll be there in Brazil.
Welcome.
Oh, yes.
That's great. So will be a course held in Seelisberg. Yeah, of course, yes. It will be in Seelisberg and nearby in Rhine, because there will be a meeting of Maharishi AyurVeda health professionals, and Dr. Kulkarni will give her a presentation, but I think you can also, those who are not health professionals can join there. We will make everything clear in that mail which you receive, because it has still to be worked out, but I think it on the 22nd to 24th of August, it will be in Seelisberg in concert. And also this, we also should mention the possibility to have consultations. On one hand, directly as usual Ayurvedic consultations, but the speciality also then connected to music therapy. What kind of these different types of music therapy are useful for you? So this is also what we want to offer. So now there is one from England has raised the hand. Please speak. 442073328. Yes, please.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, hello. I have been practicing a transcendental meditation for many years. I also work as a music specialist, run music workshops in percussion. I have been playing piano since age 5, from over 60 years. And I've just wondered, how can I play, for my own benefit, some Gandharva Veda music on my acoustic piano? Is there any way that I could relax in addition at the end of a day or something by doing something on the piano, acoustic piano? Any advice on that one, please? I'd be very grateful.
Yeah. That's great, and thank you so much for joining. That's great that you have such a vast experience in the field of music. I appreciate that. So definitely, you can use these kinds of notes which we discussed today, like Sare Gama Padhani Sa. So these 7 notes, and try to make some different combinations with that, which can be real therapeutic and which can be real, can be useful for your neuroplasticity of brain. So I'll give you an example with that. So just do it like sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So which you can play on your piano. After that, you can do like one note for 2 times, like sa sa re re ka ga ma ma pa pa. So in that way, you can make more than thousands of combinations with just these 7 notes. You can do like sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. So these kinds of combinations. So that's how you will learn by yourself only. So I can be just the guide to give you that kind of path, that this is the path on these 7 notes. But definitely, as a practitioner and as you are in the field of music, definitely you can try with different kinds of combinations of the notes, which can be really helpful for yourself also. Because whenever we give a stress on our mind to do that, it is a mathematical kind of formulation which you have to do with these kinds of notes, and which can be very useful for your own health. That's what I think.
Yes, very, very quickly. A point taken very quickly. If we start on the piano on the C, which is the middle C, which the Earth, our beautiful planet, revolves around in the key of C, believe it or not. But if I play my left hand like a Wagner, using a C double octave, and just try to do a repetitive C, 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 C in the left hand to create a little bit of a raga feel to it, and then perhaps use the right hand to sustain the notes. Would that help a little bit to create some kind of Gandharva effect on an acoustic instrument like a piano? What do you think?
I don't think so, because you have to use the specific notes. Like for example, when I was singing Rag Yaman for all of you, like the evening time, when I was singing like this is just the akar form when I was singing like but behind that it was like ni re ga re ma ga pa re sa ni re ga ma dha ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So this is the basic principle of Rag Yaman. Okay, so it's you have to play in that rules and stick to those kinds of basic principles when you are playing on the piano also. So first you have to learn how to do that and how to play each and every raga. So if you can join one of the workshop or something like that, I can definitely give you that insight.
Yeah, I would also say you are perfect
I'm
candidate.
only playing in one hand, with just one hand then. It's just using one hand.
I think we have also to consider the time, and we are now going very detailed.
Thank you.
You are the perfect candidate for this workshop. So we have to
I would like to, one second, I would like to add one thing in this. If you like to listen Gandharva Veda on piano, there are several videos of Utsav Lal. If you go to Meru concerts and find Utsav Lal, I will put his name, Utsav Lal. So
Thank you.
Very beautiful Gandharva Veda you can listen to.
Thank you very much. That'd be very helpful. Thank you. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's great, and hopefully we have a great interest from the UK. Then Vaidya will come to the UK directly. This would be, of course, most ideal situation. So this is still we are working on that. And then Maji Otevanga, please.
Jai Gurudev. Thank you for this presentation. My question is in terms of holistic effect of the different methods that Maharishi has given us. For example, you've got Gandharva Veda, but you also have Maharishi light therapy with gems, and then you have the Panchakarma. Can you just enlighten us on that aspect of which I'm sure everyone is part of that holistic approach, but just that angle, is sound more holistic than any of the others? Thank you.
I think
I will not say like that. Each and every aspect has its own way to work. As like you're talking about aromatherapy, we are talking about the James therapy, Maharishi light therapy, and all those things. They also have the specific effect on each and everything. So when you look towards the sound as a therapy, when we listen to anything, like you are listening to me right now, it is going through your auditory cortex and it is working on your limbic system of your brain. So limbic system is basically a system of all emotion and feelings. That's why whenever you listen to any kind of music, you feel that emotion. You feel that kind of emotion in the way the musician is trying to play. So this is how the therapeutic way of music is through your brain, through your heart, and through your emotion. So each and everything has its own way to work, definitely. So when we consider it holistically, so holistic approach towards each and everything can give you more kind of, perfect health. That's what I think, and that's how you can use it, like use each and everything in your life.
maybe in
Thank
this
you.
connection, I can also quote
Yeah.
from Maharishi. He says, Gandharva Veda is just to explain on a concrete level the abstract, unmanifest reality of pure knowledge in the Veda. Veda is only seen in the transcendental consciousness. Gandharva makes it possible to be heard by the ears. It brings that unmanifest on the sensory level of experience. And this is how it connects the sensory level with the transcendental level.
Mhm.
So this is one aspect where Maharishi explains the importance of the sound. And also we have in a lot of other similar approaches on sound. I will just show that one slide here describing in a more broader session the approach to health to the vibration of consciousness, because finally sound are vibrations of consciousness. So this is in the book of Dr. Neda, where he compares the expression of the Vedic sounds into the physiology. And there are three areas. There is the Maharishi Vedic vibration technology, the Maharishi Vedic sound therapy, the electronic model of Vedic physiology. So these are, it's another aspect in addition to Gandharva Veda music. This model shows with blinking lights, when the music is, when the Vedic sounds are played, which part of the body is lightening up here. This is now as it is available, a 2D model. So you listen to the Vedic sounds and you see which part of the body starts to blink. That means there is this connection. And that means also this can be used as therapy. This is the Maharishi Vedic vibration technology, where Vedic experts whisper to you some Vedic sounds. And this then, because of this connection of the Vedic sounds and the physiology, create balance in the physiology. And finally, this is also then available as an online form, the Maharishi Vedic sound therapy. It says Vedic sound therapy.org, where you can select according to your symptoms, which body parts are involved, which kinds of symptoms. You can listen to the correspondent Vedic sounds and thereby create a balance in the physiology. So this is a huge area, the field of sound. And then in the actual course, we can go more deeper into that. But this, I wanted to show you here. You mentioned it already, we heard it from Vaidya Kulkarni, the Veda, subordinate Veda, and one is the Gandharva Veda. And it has corresponding vibrations in consciousness. It has this integrating and harmonizing ability in consciousness. Then we have the Dana Veda, Stapatya Veda, and these 9 areas of AyurVeda. But what I wanted to show here, as Dr. Neda has pointed out, Gandharva Veda corresponds in the physiology to the cycles and rhythms in the physiology, because there are constant rhythms and cycles in our physiology, and also the pacemaker cells in the heart. And here you find again now these 7 notes. These 7 notes, which we were singing, they correspond to the 7 sympathetic ganglia. Sympathetic ganglia, this is one part of the nervous system. There are 2 parts, parasympathetic, which calms down, and sympathetic, which excites and enlivens. And there are 7 sympathetic ganglia on each side of the spinal cord, and they participate in the modulation of the rhythms of the heart. And these correspond to these 7 svaras. So you see here in Maharishi Ayurveda, Gandharva Veda music therapy, we go very deep and cover all areas from this unmanifest self-referral consciousness, which starts in vibrations and then in the physiology, and then we can use it in these different types of therapy, which you mentioned, is Nada Chikitsa and Raga Chikitsa, and what was the other? Sangeet Chikitsa.
Sangeet,
yeah. So it's a huge area, and I think we have got quite an interesting glimpse into that. And yeah, we will send out to everyone who has registered the link where you can even watch it again, and with also more information, and with the, let's see where it is, with the websites where you can then see the other aspects which offer, and also when if you are interested, where you can apply for the course.
The URL mcphi.org course-calendar. And here you see all the courses that Maharishi College of Perfect Health International offers. And here you can see by the different months which courses are offered. And also some courses on demand, which are always offered all the time. You can study at home at your own pace. And also 2 free courses where you can register right here on the page. And then there are also courses by Mero. You can click here and get to the Mero site. And now we might have a look at the web page of the Gandharva Veda course, which is this one, from 31st of August until 7th of September. And here you can apply and you have more information. And we will put the recording of today's session here.
Yes, really wonderful. It was a very inspiring response from everybody. And we have noted all the remarks. And we will, come back to you with overall, the answers to your questions also, and we'll keep you up to date which country the next courses or workshops or consultations as Vaidya will be happening. So you will get a complete response from us, and you can always be in touch with us also through this website. And yeah, looking forward to have your participation in the bigger course, and and we'll update you on our next programs. very, very happy to be with you all and sharing this beautiful knowledge that Maharishi has brought out. And now today we have a very brilliant Vaidya teacher on this subject who will be personally taking care to teach you all the details and make you, really knowledgeable in this field. So thank you again, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Jai Gurudev.
Okay, good. I had problems with the internet, so I'm back now. But I assume everything has been already clarified, and then we see you hopefully soon, and we will send you all the information then.